Today's episode of Triggered is brought to you once again by Vikings, War of Clans. God damn, it's good to have an outlet for all this Viking rage that burns inside my heart. Vikings is a mobile game that harkens back to the PC strategy games of the 90s and early 2000s. The game has just undergone a massive update with new RPG elements and a new hero. You can choose your own playstyle, whether that be creating an impregnable fortress, building a massive army to raid your enemies, or using your diplomacy skills to rule the world. All you gotta do is play this game for 5 minutes, and you'll see why over 12 million players are addicted to it. So support my channel today, download Vikings from the links below in the description, and get your initial protection shield for free, and my special bonus of 200 gold for a fast and successful start. Now, I'm about to defend a guy named Sam Cedar. So let me say before I do that, I've never met Sam Cedar. From what I've seen of him, I think he's kind of a boring as fuck establishment left goon. And I really wouldn't care if he were hit by a bus tomorrow and died. I wouldn't be happy about it, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would delight in the dude's death, but I wouldn't be sad, you know? I wouldn't feel much of anything. I mean, not even much of anything. I wouldn't feel anything, period. Nothing. So why am I about to defend him? Well, because something happened to him recently that is absolute bullshit. For those of you who don't know, Sam is a left-wing podcaster, radio personality, and he was recently fired from his job as an MSNBC contributor because of a rape joke he made on Twitter 8 fucking years ago. He said on September 29th, 2009, "Don't care, re Polanski, but I hope if my daughter is raped, it is by an older, truly talented man with a great sense of mise en scène." Sorry to the French people out there watching. Actually, I'm not. You're French, so who fucking cares about you? Now, at the time that this tweet was published, there was a lot of people defending director Roman Polanski and even petitioning for charges against him for his 1977 anal rape of a 13-year-old to be dropped. Polanski fled from America in 1978 and has continued to live and work from France for many years, and even won an Oscar in 2003 for his film The Pianist. Sam Cedar's tweet was satirizing the left's attitude towards Polanski at the time. So ultimately, he was fired from MSNBC for criticizing a child rapist. The guy who resurrected this 8-year-old tweet and took it out of context was a dude named Mike Cernovich. My friend Kyle Kalinske, who brought this story to my attention, has taken to calling him hashtag Snowflake Cernovich. And Kyle has made a very in-depth video about this entire situation that I'll link to in the description of this video. I'm a little more immature than Kyle, I think, so I'm just gonna call him Cernabitch. So, not only does greasy little Cernabitch take Sam Cedar's Roman Polanski tweet out of context to engage in a smear campaign to get him fired, but watch how he reacted to Kyle Kalinske when Kyle called him out on it. Kyle said on Twitter, "So Sam Cedar gets fired over a joke, but idiot far-right wingers like Cernabitch portray themselves as anti-PC police, snowflake fighting free speech warriors. Fuck you, Mike, you fucking loathsome smear merchant." Wow, Kyle brought some of that left-wing fire, you know? So what does big balls free speech warrior Mike Cernabitch say to that? Well, he says, "I reported this tweet for targeted harassment. Do not reply to it, friends. It's what they want. Then they play the victim. Report it as it's harassment of me and inciting harassment." Do you guys smell that? What is that? That's the smell, I think, of, I'm getting a little aroused. That must be the smell of pussy. Cernabitch honestly has the audacity to say that Kyle is playing the victim while he's the one reporting a tweet for targeted harassment when all it's doing is calling him out on his bullshit. This guy isn't a snowflake. He's a cowardly little cum flake that you pick out of your fucking belly button hairs and discard in disgust. Cernovich also blocked Kyle. I guess to end the trauma of being disagreed with. Oh. Here's the real icing on the fucking sundae. I guess you don't put icing on a sundae, you put it on a cake. Back in 2012, Cernovich tweeted, "Have you guys ever tried raping a girl without using force? Try it. It's basically impossible. Date rape doesn't exist. Try it? Try raping a girl? Date rape doesn't exist? What? This cum-sodden dick rag smears a left-winger for tweeting against rapists like Roman Polanski, yet he himself has tweeted that date rape doesn't exist and that his followers should go try it out for themselves? Colostomy bags are less full of shit than this vacuous vaginal wart. If hypocrisy was a dick in your mouth, this guy would be deep-throating a fucking stallion. Jeez." Update. Since this video was shot, reason has prevailed. Thanks to the efforts of folks like Kyle Kulinski, MSNBC has reversed this terrible decision, and Sam Cedar has been reinstated at MSNBC. I view this as a victory against the merchants of outrage culture, and also as a beautiful fuck you to Mike Cernovich, who now looks every bit as stupid as he genuinely is. While we're on the subject of conservative douchebags named Mike Pence once ratted out his fraternity brothers for having a keg. I don't know about you, but my first reaction to that headline was, what a piece of shit. Instantly, I started to form this picture in my head of Pence as this Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, who's like, "Gee, guys, we shouldn't be drinking. I'm telling the dean." And I thought to myself, wow, I couldn't hate Mike Pence more than I do right now. Then I read the story, and it turns out he's actually even worse than a goody-goody. He's a turncoat, backstabbing, little betrayer bitch. Pence was not a particularly hard partier, but oversaw his brother's complicated plans to sneak alcohol into the house and was in charge of ironing out any issues with adults if things went wrong. Adults? Aren't they they're in college. They are adults. Anyway, that is until one night, during one rowdy bash, the brothers found out a dean was coming to the house and tried to hide evidence of their illicit activities. The future vice president greeted the dean at the door and proceeded to direct him straight to the kegs, telling the official they belonged to Phi Gamma Delta, his former brother said. Pence's brothers were furious with him, but he maintained a good relationship with the administration. In fact, he was so beloved by school officials that Hanover offered him a job after he graduated, according to The Atlantic. This backstabbing slug is, or at least was, more disgusting than a puddle of puke. At least if he was a little goody two-shoes bitch, you could argue that he at least had some sort of principles. But he doesn't. He actually helped sneak alcohol into the frat house in the first place, and then when shit got hot, he turned state's evidence and snitched like a bitch on his frat brothers. Why don't you go butt-fuck Haji some more, you race-bannon-looking traitor bitch? What kind of man sides with anti-fun authority figures over his friends? Hell, not even just friends. When you're in a frat, that's supposed to be a brotherhood, right? He ratted out his brothers, not out of conscience, but out of reflexive brown-nosing, out of a sick need to have the approval of some wormy douchebag dean who wants to stop everyone else from having fun just because no one was desperate enough to suck his dusty, limp mummy dick. So even if we ever do impeach Trump, all we get as our prize is a butt-sucking, parasitic little narc bitch who betrays men he calls brothers at the first hint of trouble. Even if Trump is guilty of colluding with Russia, I find that actually less reprehensible. At least that has a motive that makes sense. I want to win the election, so I'll collude with Russia to do it. Now, that hasn't been proven yet, but even if that was true, at least it's just your typical scummy politician power grab. We can all understand that. Most of us have some sort of desire for power and some willingness to seize it even by unethical means. But what Pence did while far less far-reaching in its implications, was way scummier in my mind. He was disloyal to men that he called brothers, men that he'd made a pact with, and not out of ethics, not out of some moral realization, even a misguided one, but purely out of self-interest, purely out of smarmy ass-kissery. What a contemptible worm of a man. Fuck Mike Pence, and fuck anyone who looks like Mike Pence. I'd tell him to go eat a dried up turd, but in his case, that'd be fucking cannibalism. Ugh. Between Mike Cernovich and Mike Pence, I'm starting to think that all the problems of this country just revolve around conservative dudes named Mike. You know what I need? I need some good news, some happy news, something I never saw coming. Something I didn't know I wanted until it happened. Luckily, David Hasselhoff delivered. Check out this tweet. Thanks for a great performance. You were crazy fun. At Marilyn Manson was so good, so cool. And you say God, I say Satan. Awesome music. Thanks for a great night. DH. Wow, dude, I didn't know the fucking Hoff was a Manson fan. That's gotta be one of the most amazing and badass facts I've ever encountered in my life. I totally want him to do a duet with Manson as Marilyn Manselhoff now. And I know the exact song. It's got to be Sonny and Cher's I Got You, Babe. And you know what? If that doesn't happen, then there is no fucking justice in this world. That's my new mission in life, to make that shit go down. Marilyn Manselhoff, I Got You, Babe, coming soon to a YouTube near you. Go harass Marilyn Manson. Go harass David Hasselhoff. Make this shit happen now. I'm TJ Kirk. This was Triggered. Fuck anyone named Mike. Favorite this video. Thumbs it up. Do all that shit. Share it around with your friends, your family, your enemies, your allies. I don't give a fuck. Share this shit. Share it while I'm still on YouTube, because you know what? This is something I actually didn't write in here, but I have read that Google is hiring 10,000 new censors to go and look for extremist content around YouTube. So what does that mean? What's extremist? I have a feeling that they might have a really liberal interpretation of the word fucking extremist. So who knows? Maybe this channel and others like it will just whoop, they're gone. Too extremist for the brave new YouTube. I mean, motherfuckers are being fired over 8-year-old fucking tweets. So who knows what kind of pussified outrage culture, bitch world we're actually fucking living in. Anyway, share it, care for it, do your shit, make it happen. I love you all. Peace the fuck out.
I'm gonna tell the dean on you.
Tell the dean!